Welcome to my first attempt at a Let's Play of Crash Landing. So let's get started and make a new world so that there is nothing being hidden. The very first day on Crash Landing map is one of the most difficult as you start at midday, so the first thing I tend to do is run outside and grab 2 dust. These 2 dust are the only things outside the ship you need for the first set of quests. We need the wrench, and we need a few things out of the chest. I'll grab the sieve as well. We need the crafting bench first, so we'll throw that down, and we need the 2 fluid transposers, so we will grab both of those as well. Go to our quest book, open it up, basic survival, and we can turn in the transposers for the campac on water. I always go the hard mode, just so that I know I'm doing it on the hardest settings. Stick these back in so we don't lose them. And the goal of this one, or the goal that I always set myself on the first day, is making my first night my last. And not through death, but through getting a bed. Having a bed means you don't have to contend with the nighttime. To make a bed, you need wool, and unfortunately there's a lack of sheep. But there is a way around this. We can make wool out of string, and to get string we need to get silkworm infested leaves, which we get from infesting a tree with silkworms, and silkworms we get from crooking a tree. So we'll get ourselves set up with some water. We've got our crook, and it is unfortunately pure chance when you actually get a silkworm. You could go through 10 trees, you could get one on your first leaf. As soon as you get your first silkworm, you're wanting to wedge it in the tree to start the process off, as it does take a while. I've yet to be able to get this done before night time, but one night isn't the end of the world. For the rest of the day, it is pretty much just gathering dust. Some people like to build a wall with a trench. Personally, since the goal of this is to not have to deal with mobs until you are ready, or have a nice base, why bother? We want the dust to get materials, so let's just grab as much dust as possible and clean up the area. We can't do much else just now. We don't have any materials, we have no water, no food. All we can do is gather dust and get ready for a long night of sieving. You can see the inside of the ship. This will also mean that we can see when dawn is coming from inside. You can see the fires from our engine block burning at the side. Thankfully, in recent updates, the mob griefing has been turned off, so it no longer results in a massive crater of creeper explosion doom. But it's still a pain having the fire spontaneously start, and without an adequate water source block handy, you can set yourself on fire and die of being burnt to death on the first day. So I generally like to block up the engine. We don't want to get rid of the block, as it does have uses later on for smelting quicker, but for just now let's just block that up, and by morning time all the promethium should be gone, and it should be relatively safe to walk around. Let's prepare our doorway. Some tutorials say to make this 3 deep and 2 wide to catch giant mobs and spiders, but I found that the giant mobs, if you hit them from a distance, they can't hit you, and spiders will climb up anything possible and even jump up things. So I didn't really see the point in it. This is purely to catch any of the creepers and small zombies or large zombies that try and walk through our door. We don't mind if they walk away from the ship, as they're going to be on fire anyway, but we don't want them trying to get into the ship. Still a bit more daylight left, so grab a bit more dust, as this is the only thing we're actually going to be able to do tonight. When it actually comes to it, I will pause and restart the video during the night when all I am doing is sat there sifting dust, as it is very boring to watch, almost as boring as it is to do. Now with nighttime coming in, we'll finish preparing our door. I generally make 2 large columns on either side that will make sure that they can't actually climb in, and this means that we can get spiders hit. We'll close that up, get our sieve started, and we will continue when sieving is finished. Night's rolling on, and we'll gather materials. Now we've finished sieving all of our materials. Still going on outside, but dawn is breaking, as you can see there. What we got from the night was this. Not a massive amount, but we got enough to get started. You can hear the spiders going mental outside. Got 3 creepers. Basically, we don't want to go out there just yet, but we do want to start preparing the mobs. We've got our needle gun that we got from the side, and we want to try and get something close to the door so we've got something to pick up. Yeah, spiders trying to get in there. If we shoot a zombie, zombie awareness tends to get them all pulling across. You can see on the map there is a small entity coming straight towards us. He looks like a mini zombie, so keep an eye out on him, as mini zombies can be a pain in the backside. So we'll clean that up just now, just in case he tries to run in. Get our needle gun ready, and we're going to shoot anything that tries to come in. See a skeleton burning up out there. This is the hardest part of the first day for me, trying to get out the door without most of the day disappearing. And it is just a game of patience and, to a degree, luck. If you're unlucky, you'll get a tuff or a mini spider, and they will make your life difficult. Here we've got a creeper and what looks like a giant zombie. Giant zombie's going to burn. Creeper is going to walk around being annoying. So we just need to wait for a clear shot on him. There's one there. Take him out. Right, map is showing 2 spiders and 2 creepers. Got him. Spiders can be a pain in the backside, especially when they're glitching, as their hitboxes seem to move. These seem to be big ones at the moment, so we're fairly lucky. But we want to keep an eye out for them, as there could be a small one hiding up there as well. It's hard to see on the map. Shoot him. Make sure to grab your ammo packs. Oh dear. Hello you. Now you can see the spiders thankfully aren't too smart. They can't go through narrow doorways that easily. But unfortunately, as you can see, they are glitchy and you cannot hit them. And I can't take many more hits from him, otherwise it will be a very short episode. So we need to try and shoot this guy, preferably without getting a hit. You can see I'm hitting him, but there's nothing happening. So we need to think, what can we do to get him through? Fortunately, if we can't get him to hit him where he is, we need to let him out, and there we go. You just have to be ready and willing to take a chance. Still showing 1 spider left and 1 creeper at the back of the ship. You can see our lovely silvery tree out there. As soon as we can get out the door, we'll be able to go and get it. First thing, of course, is get your mob drops. Creeper at the back isn't really a threat to me, so we're going to leave him be just now. Deal with him later. So we're going to look for our mob drops. Some mornings you could come out and find huge amounts of things stuck in the trench. Others, there's nothing there. So we'll grab some water in our cam pack before we dehydrate. And now go on a quick mob drop hunt. I generally use the F3 overlay so that I can get a rough idea of how many mob drops there are and more or less where they are. Let's take care of this guy before he sneaks up on me. Oh. Bones and arrows are very helpful early on. Ideally you want 4 bones. Doesn't look like I'm going to get 4 of them. If you can get 4, you can make the bone crook, which is another good start, but there's always another night when you're ready for it. Zombie flesh is handy for mixing with salt, for completing another quest and some easy food. And the bones are good for stock, just in case you're really stuck once you've got a few cooking implements. Right, looks like that's pretty much everything. Now we want to deal with the tree. To get the silk from it, you can hit it with anything pretty much as far as I know, but we also want the silkworms for a bit of extra food. So fill the leaves with your crook and collect all of the silkworms and all of the string. Now unfortunately these leaves will not drop saplings, and I don't believe I actually had a spare sapling. I might have had, but I think this was our only birch tree. But it's fine, we got 2 different varieties. So we will deal. Oh, I did get 2 birch saplings. That's fine, we will be able to continue the species. Right, so we have got our wool. And as everyone knows from vanilla Minecraft, a bed is made of 3 wool and 3 planks. So we need a bit more wood to make our planks. And that's pretty much it. We've got our wool, we've got our planks. Remember, a bed is best placed inside, as if it fake rains in the desert, you can't do anything. And there's our bed. And we're safe.